I think it's also Chuchula taught me also another important idea that you should always look from the white side of things. Yeah, I started working with Chuchula. Yeah, and he his approach to openings was like more, I should say, more systematic.
And so you were talking about your weakness in the opening, at least compared to other players. So like, what was your plan on, like, how did you plan to improve your openings exactly?
To be honest, actually, I was working on openings, but not very. I should say it was not very systematic. Yeah, and in my real breakthrough in openings came probably, I should say, around 2011 or so, 11 or 12, I think. Probably this was after I started working with Chuchalov. Yeah, and his approach to openings was like more, I should say, more systematic. And he put me into to working into building my repertoire in a proper way. Yeah, so let's say I started playing chess in 1990, and then only by 2012, after 22 years of playing, that I had managed to build something that is resembling a good repertoire. Yeah. So it took me a while, like, okay, I mean, once he taught this, and then probably after 3-4 years, it's still, but opening problems is ongoing. Yeah, you cannot really, like, solve every problem that is coming here you have to keep working at it. You have to keep updating every stuff. Like, okay, I mean, even if you build a repertoire, you have to keep updating this stuff, and then see what is going on around, like what the top players are playing. And it's more like an approach, like what the top players are aiming at. Yeah, that is the most relevant thing that he taught me. Yeah, for instance, if somebody is entering this variation at some point, you need to know, like, I mean, you need to check what the top player intended, if the opponent had played completely correctly, for instance, where he was intending to go. Yeah. So that kind of approach, I think it started around 2012, and then I mean, basically it started with the work with Chuchalov. He was always looking for ways, like why somebody is doing this. I never bothered to, until that time, I never really bothered to, I used to check the games of top players, but then never had this kind of idea, like why somebody is going here. Yeah. So trying to understand the person's idea behind choosing one variation over the other. Yeah, it was quite a different approach. Yeah, and that's how slowly it started to build. Yeah. And also by 2013, I started to play correspondence chess. And correspondence chess, it's also, in my opinion, I think it's a good practice for the practical player. Yeah, or the tournament board player. Yeah, because correspondence chess, one of the main ideas is to have, before you go into some line, yeah, you need to have some kind of overall idea about how the variation is doing, and then where exactly you want to go. Yeah, I mean, the game normally takes about 2 to 3 years to finish. And before you are entering the variation, you have to, like, have a proper idea where it is going to lead. Yeah, like you have to check many things around. And I think it was I think correspondence chess helped my OTB, like chess. Yeah, so you have to, this building this opening repertoire is a constant ongoing process. You cannot really, put like, okay, now I have built something that is a bulletproof kind of thing. Yeah, it keeps growing. Yeah, and you need to keep working on it almost every day to update a lot of things, and say like not only keep updating, and to have keep refreshing this stuff, so that when you get to play the actual tournament. And it's also a good idea that before the tournament, you just spend some time refreshing your notes, like, okay, I mean, whatever you built on, this stuff, you refresh your notes so that, you refresh your memory, and that's how you go about it. Like, okay, openings is an important part, because once you get a decent opening, then you can have playing a good middle game and so on. But studying opening is okay. This finding that this top player is where they want to go, that was one thing. And also, opening is connected with the middle game plan. In general, you have to study openings by studying what plan is going to come next. Say you're studying something, and then at some point you have to choose a plan to proceed further. So this opening and middle game is connected. So when one is studying openings, you always consider studying it with plans, like what will be the plan next. And still, even to this day, I study openings over the board. Not direct on the computer. It is it's a one practice that I find it's very what should I say, like, maybe it's old times, but old school practice, but I find it's quite easier for me to remember over the board, like because when you're studying openings, there is always this possibility that at some point there is like 5 moves which is giving, the computer is giving 0.00, but maybe only one or 2 moves that you feel like playing. Even if it's 0.00, there is always one move that you feel like playing. So when you're looking at the position and thinking for yourself, you choose this move, and then you see that whether this direction you like it or not when you're analyzing in the computer. So so basically, like, still old school, moving the pieces around and feeling that like board is more relevant, I feel. But everybody has their own this thing, like some people, they can simply work with the computer and it works for them. So you have to decide what is good for you. Let's say if you can directly see from the computer and understand the computer's moves, well and good. But if you don't understand the computer's moves, it's better to do it with the board, and then see that how the move feels for yourself over the board.
Sir, but how does it work? Like, first you try to analyze it without an engine, and then you check it with an engine, or how does it work?
That is a standard process. Let's say I keep the moves on the board, and then and I am thinking for myself, like, let's say checking a few games, like what top players play, and then what is happening in correspondence. When you're building a reporter, there's a lot of stuff to go through. Like, okay, what exactly you are looking for. And I think it's also Chuchelo taught me also another important idea, that you should always look from the white side of things. It's a very interesting approach. When you always see from the white side, you're trying to prove an advantage. And then let's say you find that you tried various ideas for white, and then you don't find any advantage for white, then you start playing that opening with black. So it is like it's a very interesting way to build a report area. But some people simply feel that some of the openings that they suits their style. For instance, let's say Dubo, for now he is playing this Tarash defense. in general, I find the Dubo is kind of very aggressive style. Yeah, he plays very sharp stuff and so on. Yeah, so this Tarash is like you have your free pieces, and then maybe probably have isolated pawn, but the pieces are like very free. Yeah, so it probably suits his style. He also plays this stuff with he beat Magnus with this what is this Philidor. So I mean it is probably not the right opening. I mean, according to the computer shows plus minus most of the time, but it suits his style. Yeah, so these things also count. Yeah, if you have somebody likes some kind of positions. Yeah, and then you try to make it work. Like, okay, I mean, as with the help of the computer, you try to make it work with the best way possible. Yeah, you probably understand it's plus minus, but sometimes these plus minus may not mean much to when it comes to opening preparation. If you feel like you had let's say if you have handled the position, you know the position. For instance, this Breyer, I played the Breyer for quite some time, yeah, until I started to experience some serious problems. Like, okay, I mean, I understood it was slightly worse for black all the time, but Breyer, I understood the positions better, the plans that were better, and then I was playing very quickly as well. Yeah. So in fact, I managed to beat some strong players. I think Almasi I beat once. Yeah. And also I think I drew with Swidler once. Yeah. So some I had some good games, but eventually I landed into problems. Yeah. I think once I lost one game against Rajabo. Yeah, I found it very difficult to equalize. Yeah. So some things, okay. I mean, you have to understand these things, how what you have to build. Yeah, like opening reporter is also made on style. It's also made. These things is more like an individual choice. Every player chooses their own. Yeah. It's never you cannot have a general recipe for everyone. Yeah, they have to make their own choices. Yeah.
So, like one of my friend Grandmaster Swapnil Dopade once told me a story that once when he was staying with you in I think Olympiad, I'm not sure where, but he was telling me that he used to work for 2 hours and then take a 15-minute break and then work again for 2 hours. Was it inspired by deep work or do you work generally?
Well, it is. I mean, I generally it's even at home also it is more or less the same idea. Yeah, like you feel that you're concentrated very well here at some point, and then it is a certain awareness about work. Like for instance, when you're in very good shape and then moves are just coming to you. Yeah, then you're not going to let go of that momentum. Yeah, but after some time, like you feel a little bit stiff, and then. Let's say, okay, and then you're mostly looking at the engine, yeah, for moves, yeah. Then you feel okay, your mind is kind of tired, yeah. Then you go to have a little bit break, maybe get some coffee, and then maybe a snack or something, and then you come back to have a fresh look at the position. I have the idea that when whatever. Work you're doing at home, yeah, that should be more from my mind, yeah, not just hitting spacebar kind of thing, yeah. So I feel that you should always work with your own mind, and this break helps, yeah, most of the time. Like you stretch your legs and then maybe get some this nice coffee and maybe I don't know something else, probably just some juice or something, just to especially if you're working in AC, then you're dehydrating a lot. Yeah, you probably don't know that, but so yeah, just to get some water or something, just to have a little bit of break. Yeah, sometimes even a little bit walk outside if it's possible. Now it's a difficult situation, but sometimes just to go out for a walk and then get some fresh air and then come back. Well, just I mean, it's for humans. It's okay. Computers, they can work all the time, but for humans, you're still getting tired. Yeah, so after some time, so you have to have a little bit of break, maybe stretch a little bit, because you're always sitting in one position, and then not straight. Your neck is paining. So many other things. Yeah, it makes sense to take a break once in a while. But while working, you're mostly concentrated on the work. Yeah, so I think it's also scientifically recommended. Yeah, like you break for a short break and then you can come back. Yeah.